Yes. All right. Here we are. Give me a thumbs up on screen and audio and this pretty mug. It's order smashing. Sounds good, looks good. All good, awesome. Okay, let's go through the charts. In case you missed it this morning, welcome to the live. Actually, let's wait to the wild people. I told them 7 o'clock here. So look at that, hitting with the likes already. Look at what I did. I made buttons. I made buttons. Check that out. Ooh, donk. Any options data in Tesla at this level? So Benton, Tesla does not have options that expire today, and that's what gives us the comfort. So we have a whole week, well, 4 days in this case. I can read a little bit, but this morning the setup on Tesla was great. That's okay. I appreciate it. I turned it off. Thanks. Okay. So if you can help me keep posting the link in the live room, that'd be awesome. Hey, Robert. Anyway, this morning somebody said, Rashid said, how can we trade Tesla long or short? I said, what's your time frame? And he said the next 5 minutes. So I went down to 30-second charts and 15-second charts, and I drew this up here, and I said short here, stop here, or target, and look what it did. So that was out of the way. We also have an iron condor going. So that iron condor is still playing out. Let me tell you the levels on the SPX that expires today. 42.60. Credit call spread 41.90. So if I switch this to SPX, let's go to 1 minute. This box, I know it seems huge. We're right here, and this was the iron condor. This side of the iron condor played out pretty quickly. That side here is a little bit hotter, so overall it's still winning. Hey, thanks, Hondo. I watched a movie overnight. Or yesterday, movie or a series. The guy named is Hondo. He's also in law enforcement. Froze on YouTube? No, I'm not frozen. Somebody's asking me if I'm frozen on YouTube. So this morning, there's one disappointment in this guy. Google popped pre-open and then collapsed. SWAT, yes, that's what it is. Thank you, Gardner. I totally appreciate it. How they time it on Tuesday. I forgot about that, Tuesdays. So Google has support into 120. If you lose 120 in Google, you could lose another $2 to $4 pretty quickly. So be careful. What did I do this morning? So this morning, my note was I had a plan, right? If we don't wing it. So here was my plan to the group. I had some concerns, and I'm on the bullish side, if you know me. So let's reset. What are we doing today? Whatever. The S&P and the Qs. The S&P is trying to chase the Qs in a mega breakout. The IWM is not, which is what I'm not comfortable with that scenario. So my strategy, short-term fast trades, is the lock short-term profits. I booked S&P profits that I was long. I chased somebody from the live room. I believe it was Raghu. He had a post on XSP or S&P. I went long. I closed some calls this morning. because I don't have time to manage it, and I got a quick pop out of them, and I put an order to close, and it closed when price wasn't even close to it. It was pretty good. So longer swings, I'm still looking for stocks to buy on dips into support, and I have a whole bunch, and I'm closing winners. So I'm closing winners. I'm biased long, but I'm not trying to milk every penny of every trade. Okay, so I'm closing winners. And then I'm worried about one thing. There's a tool out there called Market Structure Edge. I have a hard time saying it, but it measures, the way they say it, they call it sentiment, but in real life it's not. They measure demand on stocks. So if you replace the word with demand versus sentiment, you would be right. And the other one, supply. So it's supply and demand, not feelings. And the overall sentiment in the S&P is growing. So demand supposedly on the S&P is growing. But if you look into, if you do queries on the count of companies with rising demands on their stocks, they're only like 15 or 12 or 14, something like that. Well, last week that was in the 40s. I don't get it. That happens when there's a dip coming. We're also approaching some sort of a contract roll soon enough in the futures. Anyway, any which way you slice it, I live in California, and this is what they call earthquake weather. Not that we're going to have an earthquake, but there's some stuff that doesn't make sense right now. So overall, I'm cautious for the short term, but I'm buying dips for the long term. So in case you missed my video yesterday, what I'm doing in the big picture, so let's set it. We have been struggling. This is the S&P daily chart. Everybody knows it. We had been struggling to take out February right there, the February highs. And the QQQ is already up here in relation to its February. And the IWM is down here in relation to its February. And the Qs have broken out from August, and the S&P have not yet. So they're in between these two. So I'm in the mode of buying dips. Okay, so if we go from here to here, people are going to be panicking. CNBC will be covering this problem, then that problem, and it will be a time to buy the dip because they are buying dips. That's what they are doing. Okay, that's on the daily chart. That's the big picture. All right, so now we go to the S&P 30 seconds. Now we go back to monitoring what we're monitoring here. So I closed calls this morning, and those calls would be red right now had I not closed them because they were short-term calls. Since I'm busy, I could reopen them now, but I'm busy. I'm not going to do that because I have other things going on. So what I want you to do is just don't be all in all the time. How about that? And don't forget to do that. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you don't already. This way you get notified, and put the bell on. And if you like what you're seeing, like it. All right. So what else are we trading? Give me some stocks to cover. You know my usual. I have concerns about NVIDIA's forecast. We had a debate. I'm very impressed with the numbers they delivered. A 40% sudden increase in sales. The last two were shrinkage. Year over year, month over month, I don't think they were shrinkage, but that's a pretty big bump in sales. So confidence for sure. So they just need to step up and deliver. Yeah, it's not frozen. Somebody said it's frozen. Calls in Tesla. Okay, let's see. No way. What? Okay, that's crazy. So I'm having a side conversation with somebody. That is nuts. Okay, so this is a classic. Have you heard of this fella? What's his name? Something like Fibonacci. Yeah. So if you measure this extension in Tesla, this is very short-term charts, like 1 minute. From here to here, that's about half. So that is the golden zone. So a bounce up to 200 can happen, but then what will the sellers do? 200 and 201 are round numbers where they should find sellers. Okay. If not, then you start looking at, oh, are they going to take that out? So put an alert at 205, 204.5. If they take that out, they're probably going to tack on another $4. Meanwhile, they're probably going to, they could just chop here to establish better footing. So let's see how well we can track this Tesla trade. All right. So if somebody is looking for, the inverse of this situation we set up this morning, if you take a long here, you should put a stop to survive this. And then the target would be up here. You want to recover these candles? Maybe. Okay. What could happen is, so that would be a long with a stop and a target. This is almost a 1-to-1, not quite surgical. It could develop that way. The bulls want to hold this area. They want to hold the 50% to come back to here and to have that opportunity. Okay, so that would be one way they can do that. Let's see if that develops. And I would stop out based on dollar amounts. Let's say somebody jumps in here in order to trade it. If you don't know options, the way you can do this with options is just to buy calls. And then let's say you pay $2 for the call. You can establish a number that will get you out, regardless of what the chart says. If you only want to take pain with about 40 cents, you say, okay, if that $2 drops below, loses more than 40 cents for me per contract, I'm out. That would be one way to do it. So this is for fast trading opportunities. I'm not that fast, but we cover this all day. You guys know it. If you're not a member and you're worried, you're asking yourself, where does this happen? We have a live room with about 280 to 320 people every day. Reach out. You can reach out in the comment section. Everybody can comment. I don't think I restricted anybody. Iron Butterfly at 4225. Okay, so I don't have enough data for that. But I will share an Iron Butterfly when we get out of here with the members. Google looks like it's finding some support, but remember, the bounce will find sellers. Hi, Kamal on YouTube. Let me see here if I can get him the YouTube. Can somebody post the YouTube link if you have it handy? If not, I do here. There we go. I haven't seen Kamal in a while. Hey Kamal, pop into YouTube. Google calls for the week. Not for me, no. But let's go look at Google from different credit put spread. Let me double check. $41.85.80. That's pretty aggressive. Yeah, I shared the 75.70. Sorry, 41.90. 85.80. You probably won't get paid much for today. Is it 50? Are you sure it's for today? I don't think I'm seeing 50. 1 second. I'm seeing 43 cents. Yeah, if you can get 50 for it, sure. Statistically, that's the right one. Thanks, Stevie, for helping out. I appreciate it. AMC has a season. This week. AMC. We still trading AMC? I'll check AMC stock. I was answering a question. What was it? We can look at CrowdStrike and Zscaler and all of those, sure. So let's line them up. We have Tesla. We already did that. Tracking. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you when to get out. Book your own profits if it delivers profits, okay? So we're going to go here. We have Tesla. Oh, Tesla. No, we did that. AMC. I don't trade that junk, to be honest, but I'll give you an opinion. They are losing. The fact that they lost 4.7 is discouraging, and I can tell you that rallies into 4.8 are probably going to be sold. So you have to respect the fact that the sellers are in complete control, and they're selling rallies. Lower highs, lower lows. They couldn't hold this. So until they recover 4.9, this is a sell the rip mode. I would not get engaged with calls. And if I do, I would book calls pretty quickly. That's the AMD trade on that one. Know what mode it's in. Deer, sure. All right. That is not good. I'm long deer. I do have room. Gosh, what is going on with this platform? This combo thing is whacking us out. I don't know why. This indicator is acting up. I would have to give up on it. So deer is losing a peg here. That's not good. And so it might have another leg lower. I do have room, but I don't want to be tested. So there's a little gap down here at 347. So 343 should be support. They are selling rallies. You have to respect that. That's the deer. So it will find support. It should find support. The rallies are being sold. And what you want to pay attention to is a massive head and shoulders. I'm just raising the alarm. And I'm not a guy that goes sideways head and shoulders like this, but that's available. So instead of doing that, I can tell you that there are some buyers in here. So okay, Meta. Okay, so if you know me, I don't chase. It's in the gap. Half the gap is doable. Maybe another $5. But if you're starting a position now as an investment in Meta, you better have a really long-term projection or not go all in, because you missed it. I mean, you missed the easy money, for crying out loud. It just rallied 200%. Oof. It's not my style to chase. I hate losing more than I hate missing out. This is the golden zone. So this extension, half of it is around here. It's too late for me for the easy money. So then you're now trading, and I'm going to give you something. If you what you want to monitor is the progress. You see these candles up here? What they do with the pop against these prior fails. Okay, and you can use today's highs, overnight highs. Switch candles to find out real highs. So 268, let's see what they do with 268. In fact, 267.5 on Meta. Let's see what happens there. I'm not going to give an iron butterfly yet. I don't have enough information. We have a 2-to-1 like ratio. Can we step that up a little bit? I promise. I'm not dancing for it, but I'll do my best. Let's see here. AMC, we addressed it. GHL. I don't know what that is. What is GHL? Whoa, okay. Greenhill, I've heard of the company. What is going on? Yeah. If you just want to go by charts, not headlines, I don't know what they discovered overnight. This is not an obvious starting point. This is where they fell apart. So if you were that person, stuck, you just got made whole after being down all that much, you would exit. Not a good, how about the nicest way I would say it, it's not an obvious entry point. All right, so let's revisit our trades. Okay, boom, done. That's 2 trades on Tesla today from a guy who doesn't like to trade fast. There you go. Thank you for Rashid for asking for it the first time. I forgot who asked for it the second time. So if you're an active trader or a scalper and you don't know charts, how are you going to do that? I still have maybe 2 spots for June. If you want to learn charts, reach out. Chicago, if you're in Chicago, reach out. We close, I think the last day we can take orders is tomorrow morning. This is a stopping point for Tesla. Boom. 2 trades. SPX. Let's go to the SPY here. So here's a 30-minute chart on the IWM. Vulnerable. They popped again. Is that a pop? They left a long tail. My goodness. Okay. So what are we going to do in order to get this guy's butt in gear? Frustrating. Frustrating. Very frustrating. That's my dilemma. The big picture. I'm going back to the big picture. Yes, we can trade fast, but the big picture, like this is a 1.68 extension to something. So we did 100 and then more than half on top of it. So it's good that we cleared this cluster that we've been fighting for since last May. And it's good that we're taking out February highs. But we still have this dislocation. We have a basket of 2,000 stocks that can't get off the ground. The last time this happened was in 2021 at the top of the market. I'm not saying this is the same scenario. One second. Okay, so oh, you bought it back. Can't type. I'm like the worst typist on the planet, and it's getting worse. I don't know why. Typing on the phones. All right. What are we looking at? What other tickers are we looking? Give me a ticker. What are we trading? We solved the mystery of Tesla. This is not a starting point for Tesla for today. So if you want to do something, look, halfway mark that was here, halfway mark that's about here. It's going into the prior fail zone. Disney? Yeah, let's do Disney. It's interesting. You could convince me to go long. They're back into the news as far as social issues, I think. So I'm going to give you a warning on Disney. If Disney loses 80, it can go to 40, maybe even lower. That is a scenario that is not likely. So that's a long. That is a reason to get long with stops. So it's a get long with stops. And the way I would get long with this one is I would make it so that I don't need a rally, like a credit put spread, sold puts to own shares. Okay. Well, you see a lot of puts. What does that mean? A lot of puts means support to me. When everybody buys puts, the market makers take it the other way, right? That's the concept. CVX, you can buy it for a bounce, but stop out quickly. I think that oil is going much lower over time. Its best days are behind it without a new shoe to drop. So they are in sell the rally mode. People don't believe it. Everybody that's bullish oil doesn't feel that. But look at the chart. They are selling rallies, lower highs, lower lows, whichever time frame you look at. So if we go to a long-term time frame, which is this one. They had a huge rally, a second rally that failed, and then lost its support. So this is a target of that. And then they went back. Look, it's a story of 50-50. From here to here, that's halfway, right? And then from here to here, that's about halfway. So if you lose this, you're coming down to here, which is 135. I think if they lose 150, they can target 135, 137, 140. I would not want to be long forever. I would buy the dip and trade it. If you want the dividends, there are better dividend paying stocks out there, like Verizon, 7%, 7.4%, and it too needs to hold, but this is already a very, 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 very low level. So less froth. Okay. Disney, Mara, CVX, Mara looking ripe for what? What is your speed on Mara? It is tight, ready to move, direction unknown. 10.5 is your first trigger on Mara. If you can take out this failing zone, actually, if you want to, if you're patient and go to 10.8, then you might get a couple of bucks out of it. If you buy the dip into 8.5 with stops, that's the better way to do it. So if this stock is going up to here with a breakout, you should be buying dips into this support zone. So as long as 850 holds, they should be able to take out 10.8 after multiple tries, and that happens, you get and test that area up here. That's the short-term trade on Mara. This is not to say anything about its fundamentals. You should get that on your own. ABV, ABBV. Okay, falling out of control. It did pop onto my screen the other day. So for AbbVie, hold 133 or probably get down to 118, 120. 128 support. So they have must hold support or trigger a bearish pattern where they can just lower highs, lower lows, lower. I don't know much about the industry. They are headline ridden, so headlines come out of nowhere. I'm not a fan. I don't trade them because I don't like to sell credit spreads into fear, into headline stocks. All right, give me another one. Let's go. We didn't do Zscaler. We'll do that. BA and crowd. Okay. Let's do Zscaler. I don't remember doing it yesterday. Maybe I did. So this is a stock that runs very, very fast. And if the bears cannot hold 145, they'll probably tax on another $40. Whether it dips first and comes back or what. Look at it. Shoulder, head, and if it dips, it would be a shoulder. So if I was you, I would put an alert to drawing right shoulder, big rally, if so. Okay. So buy the dip mode. Too late to chase. Maybe, maybe not. Depends. But it is definitely an interesting ticker. Boeing is stuck, and I do have a nice range on Boeing. Let me see here. Here's the easy look on Boeing. I don't usually look at one-day charts, but this is what it is. It broke out from here, got to the target, and now it's consolidating inside of a zone. I think it's still good to do iron condors until they decide that they want to break out one zone or the other. If you take out 220, 221, you're going to tack on another $30. Meanwhile, dips into 180 or lower, buying opportunities. So I have alerts. If it dips, I'm all about it. Until then, I would do an iron condor or sell a credit put spread, credit call spread, something like that. Walmart and FCX. We did CVX. Crowd. If I miss your ticker, just pop it again. CrowdStrike, it's too late to chase. I believe we sold a put in it on a dip, so we made money, but I don't hold calls. I don't want to get engaged with it right now. It's too late. The easy work has been done. I'm lazy. I'm trying to find trades that are fruitful, that that are not popular yet. What is going on with this harmonics? So we're going to turn them off. Okay, so it is falling into the 50% extension area. So they rallied from here to here, just about half. It's normal price action. Rallied from here to here, gave about half. It should have support. It could rally to 149, 150. It will find sellers there. So this is correct. In fact, it's probably lower. And they have buyers below. So right now, I wouldn't do anything. I don't expect a rally. I don't accept and there's not enough to do an iron condor with it. A rally can come to 149. I can see that happening. FCX. Let's zoom out. Must hold, else 30 minus. Those are my comments. They didn't hold. You see that? So this line was there. And I said it must hold this line, otherwise it's going to 30. So it dipped to 32, 33. And then it popped. That must hold should be now must recover and hold, because that comment still stands. Let's say they don't come back to 35.4 and they bleed back lower and they cover this gap that they popped here and take out the low they just placed, they will come to 30 or 31. So this is not an obvious entry point. You can see it from different perspectives. If they don't take this out, they are in danger of taking this out. Wow, what is going on with this? Not this one. You can see it clearly here. Sellers. Okay, the WWE. Totally real, by the way, totally real. They're athletes for sure. Bullish pattern, I don't know what to make of it. Breakout, yeah, you can't short it. And if somebody got long on the dips, they are doing right. They are buying dips, so should you. If you're trading, if you're investing, make sure to evaluate that entry. I would not go all in. I definitely would not go all in at all. What's up with the likes? You got to 108 and stopped. I'm not saying another word. Let's go. And also, while you're at it, subscribe to the channel, because we do go live and not every time I remember to post. So this way you'll get alerted. All right, let's see what you can do. The XLE popped today. Beep, beep on my screen. I don't remember why. All right, so these were arrows that were there. Apparently they were correct. This red pattern is played out and then some. This is target 1, target 2 have been met. Harmonic optimal price is down here. What the hell? Why is it down here? So here's the statement on this guy. If they don't hold, this is the XLE. If they don't hold 76.75, they can come down to 72 or 3. So they are in sell the rally mode. Okay. Sell the rally mode. And in fact, shortable for a long dip below. But this is support until it's not. So let's look at it this way. If somebody wants to buy the dip here and stop out, they can. If somebody wants to short, they need to wait either for a pop. So if I'm looking to short it, I would short it on a pop into what I would assume would become resistance, and then the assumption is that they take this out. Okay, so that is the bearish setup, however they do it. Now, if I'm, on the other hand, if I'm an active trader, I would want to go long here against this support and stop out if I'm wrong. So long and stop out if I'm wrong, or if I'm looking to short it, wait for a pop to short it. I will address that in Chicago. June 9th and 10th, be there. Tomorrow, last day you can sign up. Reach out to me in the notes section. Okay, XLE, UNG. No, wait, there's another one. NCLH. Oh my gosh, yes, much better. Thank you on the likes. So you only need a little reminder. I appreciate it. Okay, so this one is showing good vibes. If they take out this morning's high, they can crawl up. So you have an ascending channel, looks like, of higher lows and higher highs. Respect it, but you should also respect the fact that this area here was an incredible resistance zone. So it's not going to be easy. That's why something mild like this is what works best. This way they make progress, they drop a little bit, they get they get more steam behind them, and they build a better rally instead of these. Look at this one. Here's what I'm saying. See, that one came so fast and it gave itself back up. This one lasts a little bit better. Let's take a pop here. Look at this. Okay, Tesla opportunity. Not very clear, so we nailed it twice. All right, so if you're an active trader and you want to trade Tesla long, you have an opportunity for this breakout if they take this guy out. So taking this guy out would give you an opportunity to make a high of day. It's not a forecast, it is an if they, right? So what do? You get long down here, you ride it to here, and you leave runners. Hopefully it does this. They hold this. This must hold, by the way. Hopefully they do this, and then you get your rally. So this might be it. So if you get long, put a stop. You see how I did these boxes? So the way you do it is train yourself. Say, if I went long here, I would stop out, pick a level. I would put it here. And then I would want 1 to 1 or 1 to 110, something like that. You decide how much you want out of it. That's too high. So this will be another setup. This is less conviction than the other two, but this is a proper Tesla setup. So the other two, in case you missed it, were spot freaking on. Later, Akram, no problem. Thank you. Pop in the live later. Let me know if you need anything. What is that green red box called? It's not an indicator. It's taking a trade, helping you. Like if I bought a call here, I bought shares, this will be my stop out and this will be my target. It's not an indicator, it's just one of these things right there. You place it yourself. So these are not indicators. I put them. I said here I would short, I would stop out if I'm wrong, and that would be the target. Here I would go long, I would stop out if I'm wrong, and I would this would be my target. And here I'm saying get long, I would get long here for this opportunity and stop out if I'm here. Okay, good. I'm glad we cleared that up. NCLH we did. Let's pop into XLE. We did XLE. UNG. So this is a stock that I hate to trade, but we've nailed it every time I traded it. I don't know anything about natural gas, and I nailed it all because of Bill. Bill, are you in here? So Bill came to me one day, months ago. Hey, how do you trade BOIL? BOIL is 3x UNG. I said, why would you want to trade BOIL? UNG itself is already on crack. So, and we traded the UNG several times. I am not long. I forget what was my last entry on it. I think it was long. Sold put. You could convince me to sell puts again, but in order to evaluate UNG, you need to look at the natural gas futures, because on UNG it looks like it hit an all-time low and it didn't. There was still 25%. This shows the all-time lows better. So you can see it's been here before. It's been at $1, so 2.4 now. So the all-time low is 50% lower than here. So we go back to UNG. Look, it looks like it's an all-time low. It's not. Okay, that's my concern. That people are so focused. Oh, it's an all-time low. No, it isn't. The all-time low is 50% lower. $3 and change. Okay, I'm not saying it's going there. I'm saying that it's not an all-time low. And they keep making lower lows. So you can go long and stop out immediately. I'm not going to touch it. I feel like I played Russian roulette with it a few times and I'm done. But if you want information on it, You have support into 6.2 and of course the low of 6. And then resistance on the way up into 6.8. Of course 6.6 as well. You can see that that's a problem. 6.8 consistent. Okay. And you do have a gap-ish, not really gap. That is it on that one. Palantir, please. Palantir, I'm no longer long. I got out early. I left money on the table, but I'm fine. I wouldn't short it, but I definitely would not start longs here. If I am investing for the long term, I would nibble. I would definitely not take an all position, like 30% maximum. Leave room to add lower. My first entry was wrong. I bought it, I forget, 12, 11 on the way down, and then it fell apart and I entered lower. So the net result was me being long at 7 and change, and then I got out at 9 and change. So I left money on the table, but who cares? That's how it is. Maybe 10 and change. I don't remember. It was a big win, and I definitely left a lot of money on the table. Buy the dip. I have alerts for myself to buy it on dips. Right now, there's no obvious entry point. In fact, this wolf wave says in the next week, it's going to suffer a drop, and it could be big in a couple of ways. So it would probably dip, rally, dip, rally, dip, unless it gets a headline. Not every wolf wave works out, but they're pretty accurate. All right, Palantir. Shopify, somebody said it's breaking out. PayPal, I don't know what to tell you. PayPal, I'm long and suffering a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. Oh, it was green this morning. Now it's back to red. What a turd. So I will never trade PayPal again after this. And same with SE. I will never trade them. They both have good fundamentals on paper. They both should not be falling like they're going out of business, and both of them cannot stop falling. So I'm at a loss. Something else going on that I don't know about, so I'm done trading it. Meanwhile, the recent supports better hold, otherwise it could find itself at 57 at the end of the week. And if the market's correct, that'll be the case. I've sold puts at 55. I'm not going to defend them. I will take the assignment and sell the shares. Hopefully I'll have the opportunity to sell the shares for green or little damage. Shopify, we were long. I think we got maximum gains. 62 to 64 resistance short term, and the boxes show support. Like this box shows short term support for me. And if you can take out 65.4, maybe you can get some more upside with that. Let me zoom out a little bit more and zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so let's talk big picture. This is a company that has a great P&L, so I would a breakout from 66 rounding should have $25 in it, easy. Okay, and you do have a lot of sellers lurking at the top end of that white box, so be careful. So it is a buy to dip mode, and if you look at it, there is they bottomed, they dropped like crazy. They spent some time consolidating, a few months actually, and now for a few months they've been establishing a higher low trend. So they are in a buy to dip mode. So even if they fall to 50, which I have alerts at 55 and 50, I will try longs. How do you sign up? Just reach out to me. Or Arlenis. Actually, reach out to her. She's better than me. Okay. Let's see here. Did I hit every ticker, or did I skip one? I think I hit everyone. What are we doing now? Who's trading what? Let's have fun. Don't forget to stop out if you're wrong here. Okay? These are fast trades. And now losing this will get you down to here. So you might want to stop out well before this one. Okay? Okay, let's look at the SPX. Some people are in an iron condor here. They asked me for one this morning. And the iron condor is as such here described. If you don't know what those are basically trades that don't need anything to happen. They pan out almost most times, but every once in a while they hit a snag. For example, easy statement is, this is today's Iron Condor, Tuesday. So you collect money to say the price of that stock is not going to go above or beyond at the close. So when the bell rings, where's the SPX? If it's inside this box, then you make money. How much? I think this was about 18% on your risk. And you don't need a rally, you don't need a drop, you just wait for time to tick. And let me see how much it is now of max gains. Right now it is 68 cents, 64 cents to close. It was 90, so it's 1/3 played out. So now they have already, if they close everything now, they would capture 30%. I'm doing air math of maximum gains. So this was a win without even needing anything to happen. BX, so I went long BX for the gang last couple of weeks. I don't remember when, and that trade is playing out great. It was a chart-based trade. I don't know the company very well. I know they manage money. I know they have a ton of money to manage, so I wasn't worried about their fundamentals. I went long by selling a put or selling a put spread, and I also said you can buy call. Any which way you sliced it, they made a ton of money on the trade, especially those who bought a call. I didn't buy a call, I sold a put. The put is still there. What are the IC levels on the SPX? Raghu, this morning it was 4190 and 4260, but those numbers are gone, and that's what the collection was. Now this one is like 60 cents and this one is 5. So this one is still viable. This one is not. That was this morning. The deltas were 12 and 11 at the time, I think. Let me see what the deltas are now. 3 and 16. So now the deltas are 3.03 and 0.16. You're welcome. Thanks for those calls on the S&P, by the way, on Friday. I said, I'm not going to even ask. I took them, I sold the put spread, and I closed the calls this morning. Running out of time, and knowing me, I would forget about them. So it was an easy win. See, I'm taking, Raghu knows his stuff, so I took his trade. Iwar, yes, I am. People are coming in. It's like, what the hell? Where's Nick? Can we get another burst of likes, please, while we get our next ticker? I can use an Iron Condor on BX. Mr. T, not right now. I've done an Iron Condor on BX, but you need like Boeing is better because it's stuck in an area. So when a stock is range bound, it's easy. When it's doing this or that, it's not as easy. Okay, somebody's calling the close for today. Macy's, okay. The audio is muffled. Go like this. Lou, go like this. I don't think it's on my end. The audio looks, I'm looking at the audio levels. They look okay. Macy's. All right, let's go to Macy's. SoFi and Macy's. Okay, so Macy's has earnings this week, I believe, going from memory. Be careful trading it. Ford, somebody asked about it this morning. So Macy's, look at it. This is a 30-minute chart. This was a must-hold area, and then once it lost, it was lost. This was the target area. So now, if you split this into rallies into 14, 15 are going to be labored. There's going to be sellers. So if you want me to show you, I will put a line here, and I would say it's a resistance. It's a zone that's going to be a resistance. That is on the 30-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, you can see that there is potential upside, but then it's going to hit resistance. But all this is not going to matter because in a couple of days, it's going to report earnings and all hell's going to break loose. If you twist my arm, I guess I will invest in Macy's, take some longs, but they tell me that the retail sector is hit hard and a lot of the retail reactions was negative. So buy the dip mode, sure. Buy and hope, not for me. So you do your homework on Macy's. SoFi, I believe I'm long SoFi. Yes, I have in the money calls, which I should revisit. to see if I need to close them. The company is at 5.7. Interesting. So I did share a trade for guys to buy shares, and it was around 5.7. The shares are back to even now, so I hope they took off some off the table, because I shared a trade to go long, and then the next day somebody downgraded it, and it took a big hit. Okay, those who bought calls the second day, you are up 70%. So I did that during the live session. I said I issued a long yesterday. Unfortunately, now it's down, and so I added by buying calls. And if somebody did that, they're up 75% on those calls. So let's see if there's an area of resistance. Everything up here has been sold before hard, so I would assume that it would happen again. If this was a trade, I would close it. This was a trade for me, and I'm closing it as we speak. At the risk of missing out. You know me, I love leaving money on the table. I'm always early. Not always, but I'm often early, and that's fine. Because I'm busy and I don't want to get stuck forgetting something. And that happens, believe it or not. Okay. Let's see here. So do you need more granularity on SoFi? We can check. Nice base at 550. It was almost $6 this morning. I wish I had paid attention to it earlier. Okay, you can see how they're going to be selling up here and buying down here. So it's kind of in the middle. I do nothing with it. If it's an investment for the long term, fine. The only reason I booked it today because they have their June calls, and I'm running out of time. Ford had a pop this morning. So I commend them for holding hands with Tesla. 13 is a problem. I don't go long into a problem. If you have an investment, you don't need to do anything. There's not a reason to add to an investment. If you're looking to invest in it, this is not an obvious entry point short term because you're going into this. So buy the dip mode for me. If it comes down to 12, I would engage. If I want to invest for the long term, I make sure to leave room for error. So I wouldn't go all in. Okay. Look at it, 12.8. I'm changing time frames so you can see different looks. Okay. So this is a shorter time frame from today. So how about you put a line on today's high, an alert, and see what happens. Okay. JEPI, I don't know what that is. What is this? Income ETF. So this is a basket of stocks that pay income, fixed income. Okay. So I will comment on the technicals. 54.6.7 is a problem for now. 55 is definitely a problem. Until you take that out, they're selling rallies. In fact, I will say it this way. If they don't recover 54.6 and hold, they're probably going to lose 53.6 and go to 53. Okay, so it looks like they've lost a battle here. And if they don't come back and recover the high, they might bleed and take that out and be here. So do your homework on what stocks are in it to see what you're buying. Kroger. We have 10 minutes, by the way, and then we are going to cut you off. If you're not a member, you might want to consider becoming a member through Benzinga maybe, or through me directly, whichever you prefer. Same content. Okay. Bounce at 46.50, maybe, because of this. Problem at 48.50. Problem at 47.50. What's going on? Did they report earnings or something? Did they? Was that an earnings report? No. Pre-announced? 11% on JEPI? Yeah, so what? I don't know what that is. What if the stock falls 20%? What's that 11% going to do for you? But that's pretty impressive. Just make sure you know what's in it. And next time it crashes, load up on it. Because if somebody did that in Chevron and Exxon, they were sitting pretty. They have a lot of capital appreciation and a bunch of payments along the way too. All right, what are we looking at here? CCJ. Okay, so from a chart perspective, I remember talking, this is a Ragu story, I think. This purple box is the range they're playing inside. So if you're at the lower end of the box, I would imagine there are buyers, and at the upper end of the box, there are sellers. So if you just trade the box edges, you should do fine. So in this case here, I don't panic out. I have buyers right into 26.5 and even stronger buyers around 26. So if it's an investment, I'm not even looking at it. Technically, you could make the argument that they triggered some sort of a head and shoulder so it can fall to 26, and that'd be an entry opportunity, I think. So, yeah, my sentiment exactly. So I'm going to put an alert here for myself. I don't know what that is, but I'll trust your homework. See, this is where if you know somebody that they do homework, then you can leverage other people's homework. PCG. Last chance for you to hit the like button. We're going to end it in about 7 minutes. PCG, Pacific Gas. Oh, is this the Northern California Electric Company? Yeah. No, who is this? Yeah, I think so. All right, this is not an entry point. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this. It's a headline stock. Why do you guys, this is what I call escargot. You can make snails taste good, but it's still snot, Why are we doing this? How is this possible? I thought they were like dead in the water. Anyway, technically, 1720 is a problem, and above 1760 or 70, open air. So trade it accordingly. I would never trade this stock. IWM, I'm holding calls. I had greens this morning. I don't have greens now. Frustrating the fudge out of me. I do have 14 days, maybe 12 days on the clock, so I'm done with that. 181, 180 and a half to be exact, would bring about the rally that the market needs. Let me explain. I started this session with that statement. On the S&P, they're in a breakout. They can make it a mega breakout like the QQQ, but I think that cannot happen with these guys doing that. In order for me to believe the other breakouts will have more upside, much more upside, is I need to see this basket of 2,000 stocks do that. I'm not looking at support. I'm looking for them to be off the floor. And 180.5 is the last fail. And until they take that out, it's an inverse head and shoulders, right? Which is bullish. Let's give it this much, 8 to 10 points. So if they take 81, the rounding number, they can get 191. So they can be up here. But they need to take the breakout already. Do it already. And it's right here. They're taking their time. And the target would be, I'm going to be, this is not the exact target. It's a little bit higher, but I'm going to go with that. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay. Support is scattered. Let's hope it holds. I'm holding calls. I need to move sooner rather than later. I will put a stop on it. Yeah, the IWM is definitely struggling. And the problem is there's this misconception that they want to rotate out of tech to buy the IWM. Why can't they just buy both? Because they're afraid. Risk appetite is not that great. The advanced decline line, what's the scoreboard today? I'm not looking, because the advanced decline line, if I'm only looking at that, it tells me that things are bad. Okay, so you have 1% up on the NASDAQ. The VIX is red. The Dow is really red. The small caps are really red. And the S&P is a little bit red. A little bit green, sorry. So any other tickers? We have a few minutes. PCG, wait, Credit put spread on what? 27.25. Akram. I thought you left. You can't leave. Oxy. We already did that. Oh, CCJ. Okay, I got you. Yes. Yeah, I would be okay with that. And if you do sell that credit put spread, make sure you have the intention of owning shares. Okay, 27 is a little on the aggressive side. Make sure you make it count. So I'm not a fan of this stock, and if I take you here, you'll see why. This stock, not the company. The company is just fine in my book. I don't care. But up here, I took a lot of flack for saying don't buy it. But I got called all kinds of names because Warren Buffett is buying it, of course. I said, yeah, but he's not buying it to make money off the stock. My comments were on the stock itself. And I also, I was sparring with a guy who runs a crane for a subsidiary of Oxy, basically. And he said they've never made this much money, but they are down 30% on their production. So it was a matter of price of the commodity they sell. That was making them the money. So I'm going to tell you one thing, that these two arrows are still unfolding unless the bulls can take out 62. So until then, on this chart, the daily chart, they are selling rallies. 60, 61, 62. If you don't take those out, 62, and hold it, and these will finish. And the must hold is 56. It's 0.3, but let's go with 56 around it. This has repeated itself all the way down. I wouldn't short it outright. I would short rallies if I want to, but I was trying to stop people from blindly chasing it. That's it. That was my intention. Stop chasing it because Warren Buffett is buying into the company. He wants to put its ledger on his P&L. So he wanted the cash flow, I think, in his books. And I don't know if he accomplished it or not. But I'm telling you, it's not to make money off of his stock. So this one is in the hands of the sellers. Okay, we are done. YouTube, I appreciate it for being here. Members, thank you for your support. I will see you in a minute in the live room. So YouTube folks, look out for more live streams like this. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified in case I get lazy and I don't tell you in time. I totally appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. And I'm going to rudely end it in 4, 3, 2, 1.